Morning folks, apparently we're live according to the thing on the screen. Welcome to another Wednesday build. Sort of organised-ish today. Going to build 3 kits, hopefully won't take too long, and I've had a bit of a haircut, doesn't really look like it, but I have. So my head's a bit lighter now and less hot. So yeah, we're going to build 3 things this morning. We are going for the LX83 ticket barriers, which are part of our monthly theme. This month it's station and platform detailing, so we're going to build a set of those. And we're going to do a set of planters and troughs, so we're going to build those. So build one of them, a big one and a small one. We're swapping those from card to laser board because they just need less painting and stuff when you build them. So we'll build those as LX15, and then we're going to build one of these, which is something I previewed yesterday. You can just about see that. You'll see it, but better get on my desk in a minute. We're going to build the wall-mounted warehouse hoists, I suppose, is what they are. Thought I'd have a place, saw loads of them in Liverpool the other week, so I thought we'd have a place, see if we can make them work as a kit, and they do. Very small, but quite delicate, but they build up all right. Lots of small parts, but I'll walk you through the process of building it. I need to take a few photos as I go, just so I've got, make sure I've got stuff for the instructions. Right, glasses on first as well, because I need these. What should we build first? Should we do the barriers or should we do the troughs? Let's save the best till last. They're the fanciest things, I think. We'll leave the cranes till last. Let's do the troughs first, and then I'll get Tina to cut out a set of wraps for the barriers. I'll build a couple of troughs. I've swapped these yesterday to laser board. So these are LX15. Nothing wrong with the card ones. If you've got the card ones to build, you've already bought them, they go together fine. I just thought we'll switch to laser board. You don't really need to paint them if you don't want to, or you can stain them, whatever. And I have actually had to modify a couple of bits. I've got a kind of a fixed sheet, as I call it. I made the bases too big. These ones didn't fit because they were made for the thickness of card. So this is LX15. I'm going to build one of the large troughs first, and then we'll build a small one. I'll show you how simple these are to do, and then we'll move on to the LX83. I'll give you, you can borrow this knife in a minute. This is the best knife. Right, so we're doing usual stuff, working with laser board. So we turn the sheet over because you get a nice pop you can hear to remove the parts from the sheet. Anyway, hope everybody's all right this morning. Nice to see loads of people in waiting.
That's what you want me to do?
Yeah, one of those and one of them. Just one of each. Just one of them, one of them. Yeah, please. That's Terry. Terry's here, sandwich man. So hence Lola is now telling everybody that Terry is here. Maybe we should move our live session to 10:15, and it'll have been. Should be quiet in a minute. Right. Now I need the bases off of here because these are different size. So I just need to cut these out of here. That. Move this around. Is that better, Lola? You've told everybody that Terry's here now. The whole industrial estate knows the sandwich man's here. Looks like we've got a lot of people tuning in this morning, which is really good. The usual places, I can't see in my glasses, but I saw Martin was in, and Stuart, and who else? Morning, Neil. Yeah, Roger. Good to see you all. Hope Susie's all right, Roger. Hope she's doing okay. Tina's probably about to invite. No, sorry, you can. No, you can invite it anyway.
I think
sorry.
you said it, so it doesn't matter, does it?
No, you need to. Sorry, I'm going to concentrate on what I'm doing. Let Tina deal with the comments. It's much better if Tina deals with the comments rather than me. I'm just waffling.
Asked whether you've seen his models on hers on Facebook.
What's his name?
Facebook user.
Oh, I don't know. To be honest, I'll have to have a look at the comments when I get back on, because on here, on this StreamYard thing software, it doesn't show Facebook user's name. Sometimes it just says Facebook user, which is a bit of a pain. So I have no idea who you are. You could be one of about 6 billion users. Right, so start these LX15s. All I've done is I've cut out the sides and the ends. These fit together with kind of tab and slot fixing, just like the or fitment, just like the walls on a lot of the kits. the farmhouse, for example, which is getting there. Same thing, but just smaller. Farmhouse, I know a lot of people have been asking about that. I will get back onto it next couple of days. It's just been a little busy. So, yeah, so Facebook user, back to that, sorry. I will have a look at your comment when I get off this. I get on Facebook, I better see your name then. I can see your see who you are and have a look at your models. I just can't tell from here, from StreamYard, whether I've seen you or who you are and where you're from.
A few people have joined just to see your haircut.
Oh, it's nothing, nothing outlandish. It's
People have said it's hardly noticeable.
Yeah, I know.
You probably chickened out.
I did chicken out. Yeah, I thought, should I go short? I might do next time. I don't know. I was tempted. I did chicken out. I went to a very nice hairdressers though in Truro. They were good bunch of lads. It was a Star Wars themed hairdressers, which was actually all barbers, which is quite interesting actually. You walk in, there's a huge full-size, life-size stormtrooper ready to greet you at the top of the stairs. But it's really good actually. Nothing much about the service was Star Wars themed. It was just the sort of decor and the stuff that's on show in there that was Star Wars themed. The actual experience wasn't Star Wars themed. Right, so it's called Jabba the Hutt. No, Jabba the Cut, by the way. That's what it's called in Truro. So if you're down in Truro and you want a haircut, Jabba the Cut. They're quite a good bunch of lads. Right. Really simple these. So, and a little bit delicate, but they're simple. So I've glued the main side wall to the end walls like that. I'm going to set this aside for a couple of minutes just to let it dry, just so that they sit nice and, or set nice and solid. I'll use the blunt knife.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. No, it's fine. You use that. I'm only going to release parts. It's fine.
I thought you were done.
No, I was going to release some parts while I wait for that to dry. I'm just going to release the parts from here. This one badly needs a new blade in it. I'm going to release the parts for a small one. These are very small little models, but they're pretty easy to build. So I'm going to glue this one together as well. These are great for detailing your station platforms. You can fill them with a bit of stone powder or something, a little bit of ballast magic, something like that, or watered down PVA once you've painted it, and then use some of the little flower tufts, things like that. The handy packs are brilliant for this. Handy pack of daffodils, maybe, things like that. Put those in. Look great outside your station entrance or your booking office entrance. And with them just being wooden planters, they sort of work for most eras, really. I might try and do some stone planters at some point. This knife really is quite poor, actually. Right, that's those bits for that one, and I need, where's my bases? I need a base for that
Troughs
one.
from Germany is joining us for his first live build today.
Ah, welcome, Klaus. How are you doing? Good to have you. I noticed there's quite a few people joining in from all over the world again. Martin's in from Portugal. I think there's somebody from New Zealand, or a few from New Zealand, and a couple from Australia, which is really good. Right, that's dried. I'm going to glue this one together now. So I forgot what I was doing for a minute. I started looking at the parts for the hoist, and then start thinking about that now. We'll do them in a minute. The hoists are really quite straightforward to do. They're just some small parts. But I have made it so there are some sort of chunkier parts. So again, this one is just two parts glued together with a tab and slot. I'll set this aside in a second to dry. The hoist, lots of small parts, but I've made it so that you can kind of choose the easier parts or the more complicated parts depending on how much detail you want. So I've made it so it's sort of a kit that will work for multiple experience levels. So put it that way, I suppose. Right, that one's dry. So now we can straighten up the sides a little bit, or the ends, and pop this in here. With it being tab and slot, it's really straightforward to do. I just need to turn it around so I can get the glue where I need it. As you can see, planters don't take many seconds at all to make, really. If you're not waffling like me, you're just getting on with building it, you'll be done them in no time. Okay, so that's the main frame for the planter. So I'll put that there. We'll try and add another one to here.
Looks for the Bennett's asked whether it was scissors, clippers, or a lightsaber.
It was actually scissors and cutters here. It wasn't anything dramatic like a lightsaber, I'm afraid. It would have been probably more interesting. But no, it wasn't. It wasn't a lightsaber. It was just scissors. But it's a lot better. It was far too long. If you saw last Thursday evening's live thing with Phil, my hair was far too long. It needed sorting out. Although Tina did say yesterday when I got back, I think I prefer your hair longer. After I just
either long or go all out and do the short with the facial hair.
Right, not halfway like this is.
No.
This is halfway. Oh, Elizabeth said yesterday, you've got a mullet. You've got a mullet. Oh, cheers, Elizabeth. Thank you very much. It's not actually a mullet. Thank you. But then she did say, she says, oh, mullets are cool anyway. They're in. I must admit, I saw somebody in Truro the other day when we went on the weekend that got a really, proper 80s one. I thought, I couldn't have that. It suited him, but it wouldn't suit me. It was real sort of, Wayne's World-y kind. Proper. Okay, just glued that one together a little bit. And I'm just, if you're building the full pack of these, you get 4 of each of the different planters. So it's best to get a production line going. Whereas when you're just building one like this, you've got to keep waiting for the glue to dry. But I don't need 8 planters at the moment. Just the one of each will do. Okay, now I'm just gluing the top rim around the planter and trying to get this somewhere near square. Just nudge it a little bit till I'm happy. Okay, so all I've done is glue the top rim, this top layer here around the top of the planter, and just try to get it so it sits squarish on the planter, on the top. I think it looks all right. Not too bad. I can't tell whether there's cameras in focus or not because I've got my glasses on. Right, I think it is. Okay, and then if the bases are the right size now, I've cut them, recut them. That should drop into there, which it does nice and neatly. Okay, so put the base in. Oh, it's falling out now. Do this again. Right, tap the base in. Hold the planter flat on the base on the bench like that, and then run some glue around the edges.
Simon Cox says he's expecting to see some blood at some stage today.
Well, I hope not. I don't want to see any. Thank you very much, son.
Facebook users asked what model you're making today.
Okay, this is the LX15 planters. This one at the moment. We're doing the planters. We're going to do the LX83 ticket barriers, and we're going to do what will be LX472 hoists, wall-mounted hoists. Okay, I've just glued the base in on the planter, just holding the whole thing on the bench, on the cutting mat there. Press the base into position at the bottom of the planter, then run a bit of glue around the edges. Don't need a lot, just enough just to seal it in place, and job done. Right, go back to this one. So they're LX15 or LX015-00 scale ones. There's no reason why we can't do them in O. N would be too small, I think. I might try and do the O gauge ones if I can in time for the newsletter this weekend, which would be good.
Looks for Ian Bennett says maybe you could develop a jig for keep these built square.
I could just actually use that. To be honest, it would be just as easy for me to use that, but I just didn't. All I need to do is poke it into the corner like that. See, this works a treat for this. I just didn't. But you can use that. And then you can poke it into the corner there, look. Get in, if I can turn it round.
Klaus has said he's looking forward to the hoist. he needs 1 or 2 for his Metcalfe cider plant he's building at the moment.
Oh, brilliant.
I think it's a great alternative for the long time Langley ones.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so we can use these jigs, just poke it into the corner there. I need to clean this jig.
Sweden.
Say again?
John Hutchins from Sweden.
Oh, morning, John. Right, so that's that one. It's starting to dry now. The glue's starting to dry. I need to clean these things up. It's sticking on the thing. Right, let me glue the top on there again now. Same as before.
Klaus has asked what glue you're using.
Oh, bear with me. I should show you. It's a very good glue. It's good job it doesn't glue my fingers together, because otherwise I'd be in a right pickle.
He was asking whether it's Loctite.
Right. No, it's not Loctite. No, if it was Loctite, my fingers would be in a right mess by now. No, I'll show you. Just give me 2 seconds while I put this on. Get on. Let's do it that way. That's it. Press it down. Okay, the glue is Deluxe Materials DLAD87, or just AD87, I think it'll come up with on the search. It's laser cut kit glue, Deluxe Materials. It's a small pot, but you get, what is it? I don't know, 25 grams worth of glue. It lasts ages. It lasts absolutely yonks. The trick to using it, I say this every single week, the trick to it, this is on the instructions for the glue as well. It's not my idea. It's John Bristow who invented the stuff, as far as I know anyway. Wet piece of tissue, bottom of a jam jar, put the glue in upside down. It stops the tip from blocking up. Otherwise, if you just leave the tip up in just up in the air, in free air, it will block in minutes or seconds probably. It's great for card, wood, paper, any laser cut parts. It's really good for the fine tip applicator. Is amazing because it allows you to get the glue exactly where you want it. The tip I'm using is one of our own tips. We have our own packs of tips. You get some with the glue. Have I got one? Yeah, I'll show you. These come with the glue, but they're huge and these are really hard to unblock if they go. You have to use a 0.3 mil or something, 0.4 mil drill bit on a Dremel and just drill it out, and they're a pain in the neck. So we've got our own thinner tips, or smaller tips, shorter tips, not thinner, shorter. These are SMS tip 1, and we've got some SMS tip 2s, which are really short, stubby ones. So they are good for stopping the glue blocking up, or because they're shorter, they don't block up so quickly. And then putting it upside down in the jam jar works an absolute treat. Right, so same principle with this one. I've glued the base in on the bench, and we have a completed small and large planter. They didn't take many minutes at all, did they, really? And they look quite nice, I think. Paint them dark brown, leave them as they are, paint them grey, paint them for weathered look, do what you like really, and fill them with plants. They look really smart. So that's LX15. It was really quick and easy to do, really. Easier if you're not talking. Okay, so that's 3 of those we've got. That's those. Tina's busy cutting out the parts for the barrier. Right, she's got a wrap. Okay. Right, now we're going to do LX83 ticket barriers. Now, in an ideal world, I would paint these thingies black. But for the moment, I'm just going to fit them without painting them. Okay, so this kit is relatively straightforward. The most complicated bit of this is cutting out the wrap, as Tina's realising. We have the body of the LX83 ticket barrier. These are based on kind of a standard ticket barriers that are all over the UK network. They're probably all over Europe as well. They're the sort of things you see at undergrounds and anywhere, just, you know, King's Cross, St Pancras, stuff like that. Fairly generic. So main body is 2 mm MDF. Then we've got some doors, or saloon style door flappy things, barriers, whatever you want to call them. So they're sort of barriers, don't they? Yeah, barriers. Yeah, so I'm trying to read what's on the front of the sheet. We've got disabled entrance as well, slightly wider ones. We've got standard ones there. So your spacing you can adjust. Really straightforward. Remove this from remove one of those parts from the sheet. Sand the bottom a little bit so it sits neatly on our baseboard when we position it. using the sanding block, which is 11 or 12. SX11, I think. Don't know. 11?
Oh, blimey.
Anyway, 11 or SX11 or 12, I can't remember. SX0111 or 012, can't remember. But sanding block, quite useful because you can rub stuff on the sandpaper. Right, then we glue. We've got the wraps. Tina's just cut these wraps out incredibly neatly. Crikey. It looked like they've been cut by some serious precision piece of machinery. Right, so we've got the wraps. Paper wraps. We can use Rocket, we can use that laser cut kit glue or Yoo-Hoo for these. I'm probably going to use Yoo-Hoo for the first part to glue this onto here because it allows me a bit of movement, whereas if I use the laser cut kit glue, it grabs really, really quickly.
Nuts for doing so you could do with drainage holes in the planters so that they don't get waterlogged.
Yeah, okay. Oh, we didn't do. I'll go back to those in a minute. We'll have to do this on. We didn't put the feet on. There's some feet to put on, which I forgot about. Like a complete fool. Right. A little bit of glue all over the back of that.
James Matthews said, did you see his post on the Railway Modellers Club on Facebook?
Yes. The name rings a bell. I think I did see it. Yes. Yes. I saw a lot. I've seen so much stuff over the last couple of days, but yes, I think I did. I will have another look in a bit, but I'm pretty sure I did, James. Yes. Okay. So what we've done now is we've glued this MDF core onto the very neatly cut paper wrap that Tina cut out for us. There. So that's ready to wrap around in a minute. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to finish the planters off because I'm a fool and I didn't do the feet on the planters. So the large planters, if you want, small planters don't need feet. The large planters probably have bearers. So I'm just going to put these.
Tom Lowther says, is there any sign of the longer farm trailers with more axles?
Still on my list. They are progressing. I've got so much to do. There will be a sign of them. Yes, I'll get them done. I know you keep asking, Tom. I know you do. I will get them sorted. Right, where's the one that I didn't hack? That one. Right, all I need to do for this to finish this off is glue these little feet on the bottom of here. Don't need to be 100% accurate because they're just literally bits of timber underneath the bottom of the planter to lift it off the floor just a little bit. So I'm just using the tip of the knife to pick these parts up and drop them into place.
Ryan Roper says, what do you use to remove the residue of the glue from your fingers?
Just wash them really, just soap and water when I get downstairs, just scrub them a bit. Or I find that it's a bit like PVA at school. If you rub your fingers together, it sort of peels off. It's a bit like, not quite as PVA-ish, you get a bit black, but it sort of comes off. I just wash my hands really, fairy liquid if I'm really stuck. Right, that's what I meant to do, glue those on. So I've got bearers underneath now. Really simple. Right, they're done. That was
just
easy.
On the planters, Jack Turner says when he built the card ones, he used the base and glued it in just up inside the lip of the planters so that you don't have to fill it.
Now that's quite a good idea, actually. That's a very good idea.
And Rachel said that you need to put the flower tufts in the planters.
I do. I thought if I've got some, I haven't got any. I had some with the golden brown soil powder stuff up here, but I think I gave it to Paul last time. He's building dioramas, so I haven't got it now. But yeah, you can quite easily fill that with anything, or do as James, Jack, as Jack just said. Sorry, Jack, as Jack just said. Instead of putting the base there, do it that way. Put the base towards the top. In fact, yeah, Jack, brilliant idea. Before you fit this rim, turn the planter over. It doesn't matter which way, it's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter. Fit the base in there, then fit the rim to the side that you've put the base in. Then you have a small enough lip just to put your plants in the top. And you can use just a tiny bit of scatter, just some soil powder on the top, just a really small amount. That's all you need. You wouldn't be able to use those, but
you still get your feet on or not? No.
Tell you what, because these are being re-released today anyway as laser board, I'll make those slightly longer. So I'll make those longer, so they, instead of just being the same size as the base, if they're slightly longer and they sit over the edges.
Or can you put some longer ones on?
I can put some. There's plenty of room on the sheet. You can put some longer ones on. Yeah.
I was just thinking, because then people that want to model it like that can, but others that want to do it, the way Jack's just said about having a.
Yeah, let's do both then. Yeah, we'll put longer and short. Yeah, we'll put short and long. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Then you can do what you like. Yeah, then you can really easily put the base at the top there, as Jack said. Put a bit of soil scatter on. Then, as Rachel said, then put the flower tufts and stuff on there, and they will look absolutely spot on. Look forward to seeing what everybody does with them actually now. I want to do some now. Right, anyway, back to the ticket barriers. So these are a nice simple build. All we've done is glued that ticket barrier body onto the wrap. Then what we need to do now is fold these round in the correct order. So looking at the instructions, before I get it wrong, we fold the sides in first, then we fold the top down, and then we glue the other side on. Okay, so we're going to use laser cut kit glue only because it's got a fine tip applicator and we can get the glue exactly where we want it. If we use Yoo-hoo, it will go everywhere and we'll end up in a mess. We don't want that. Right, so let's glue all over that side. And I'll do that one as well while we're at it. Try and do both sides. As you can see, it should take 5 minutes to build these at the very most, if everything goes to plan. Right, I'm going to press hard on the corners because I want a really sharp edge on all of the corners. So I'm just using my fingertip to press against the corner of the MDF. That's one side wrapped. I'm going to do this one as well.
Andrew Hicks has asked whether the crane can be made operational or is it just decorative?
It depends on how skilled you are, to be honest. We had this discussion yesterday because as soon as I showed it to Tina and Kate yesterday lunchtime after I built it, and I went, "What do you think?" They went, "Does it move?" From the packet, no, it doesn't move. It's decorative. However, if you are into a bit of micro engineering, you could make it operate. There's no reason. There are the pulleys that are, I'll show you, that are on the 0.4 laser board sheet, 0.4 mil laser board sheet, have holes in the middle, so you could put an axle in the middle if you wish, if you're so inclined. You would need to do some drilling and fiddling around on certain parts, only because we can only laser vertically, we can't laser horizontally, so we can't put holes in the side of parts, we have to go from the top down. So there's some limitations, but there's plenty of material to scratch build your own things and fiddle around with stuff. I've made some hooks. A few people said yesterday, can you do hooks? I thought, well, yeah, okay, we better do a hook then. So we've got a sheet of hooks there, which will be added to the other sheets. So in theory, it's there for those that really want to. Right, back to this. All I've done then is wrapped a paper wrap around the edges of the ticket barrier body. I'm going to put a bit of glue on the top here. And these top tabs, fold those round.
Doug Bull has said,
Yep.
I use my wife's nail varnish remover. Bonus is you don't have to pay for it. She uses a lot. But then he has said a couple of comments, Dan, sorry, I should have said, he uses his wife's nail varnish remover to get the glue off.
I was going to say, I hope it's glue rather than yeah. So, okay, I'm just going to glue or colour these white edges, paper edges. Not that you can see them much at all. White edges with a very soft pencil. This is an 8B pencil from Hobbycraft. Any 8B pencil or something similar will do the job. Okay, so now we've wrapped the ticket scanny type thing onto there, look. So that's where you scan your, what's it, rail card or your metro card, whatever it is. Whatever, not metro, what's it called? Oh, Oyster card, that's the one. Your Oyster card and things like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use the laser cut kit glue again on this side, only because if I use Yoo-hoo to glue the other wrap on, and it seeps out, it can sometimes affect the toner on the sheet, on the printing, so I don't want that. So use a bit of this, let that dry for just a couple of seconds, colour the edges of this wrap, before I glue it on.
Stubby 47's asked whether you can do a scroll decoration on the side of the planter.
Yes, that's Stuart. Yeah, morning, Stuart.
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 Oh, Stuart.
Stuart. Yeah, not Stuart that used to know, not old Stuart.
No.
Stuart.
Stuart.
Yeah, we could do decorations. Yeah, there's no reason why. We could even do. Now I'm wondering actually whether we could do lettering, couldn't we? We could do a set of planters for each region. We could do a set of GWR planters with a nice laser cut GWR logo on the side or something that you glue on afterwards, so it has a nice ray embossed thing. And you could even paint that in. Yeah, you could paint your planters in brown or paint them in cream and put a nice. Whether they actually existed like that, I don't know, but it might be something that was a nice addition to stuff. I'll have to see what I can fit on the sheet now. Anyway, right, there we go. That's the main body of the ticket machine done. Ticket barrier done. The only thing we don't do anything with really is this part here. Oh no, we do. We haven't cut those out. We need to cut those out. Forgot those. Sorry.
These?
Yeah, need one of them.
Just the one?
Yeah, please. Yeah, that's right. We need a bit of the top. Cool. I thought, what goes on there? We need the big green and red ticking cross go on the top. Right. While Tina does that, I'm just going to make a slit inside of the model here. What this is for is so we can fit the door things, saloon flap, whatever you call them, barrier things. So this is just marked. There's a black rectangle on there. Just got to give it a poke with your knife just to open it out. A better knife than this will be good, but there you go. Right, Tina's done that. I think I've done it, but let me just try and clean it out.
Tom Lowther said he's willing to wait as it's worth it.
No, I do. I have to apologise to people about the time it takes us to get some kits out. There's just so much to do. I don't like moaning, and I'm not moaning. It'd be just really busy, and it's hard to try and keep up with stuff sometimes. Okay, this one is now the decoration for the top of the ticket barrier here, which needs a tiny bit of trimming actually. So this will teach me to follow the instructions. No, that's right. No, it's right. I'm doing it right.
James Matthews asked what time the video's going to finish. I don't think because he wants it to finish.
Do you want me to stop?
I don't think so.
Oh, will you please make this stop? This is unpleasant. I'm not enjoying this. Please just make it go away. We'll be done. What time is it now?
10:30.
Oh, we should be done about 11. It should be half an hour or so to do the hoist at the most, I would have said. Right, just trim that a little tiny bit because I think it's slightly too long. I'll probably find now, I'll glue it on. It's not too long, but anyway.
John McKenzie's asked whether you can make a spreader bar for cranes to lift heavy loads and track panels.
I think I know what you mean. I can't pick this up. Get here. I'm trying to pick that up with my knife, but it won't go. Right. I think I know what you mean. If you have pictures of what you're thinking of, if you can email them to help@ScaleModelScenery.co.uk, Ian will probably jump on them in a matter of seconds and put them in a folder for me so I can see them. But yeah, no reason why I can't do it. Right, there we go. It's a bit delicate, this bit, but it's done now. Yeah, so what I've done is glued on, if I can get it as straight as possible. There, I've glued on the little arrow, the yes and no kind of arrow things. And I've opened out the slots in the side of the ticket barrier. Okay. Right, a little bit more colouring with my pencil around the edge just to tidy the bits up.
John Clegg says when he folding wraps around the bases, he uses the back of his scalpel
Yeah,
to score before folding, which gives him a really sharp edge.
yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Yes, good tip. Good tip. Yeah, just turn your knife over and just do that. It works very well.
Neil Wolsey says, GWR logo, yes please.
Right. I'll sort something. There might be a separate pack or something that are GWR versions, just because not everybody's modelling GWR. Right. If you'd painted these here thingy doors, really we should build a pair of these, but I'm showing you one just as an example. If you're building a row, you want one in each side. So if we're building, we build several of these, if you see what I mean. Let me show you the picture on the front. There you go. Come on, cheers team. Right, what we would normally do is build a row. So we would put the door things, barriers on the sides that you want for the pedestrians to walk through. So then we've got a disabled one, and then we've got a standard one. Okay, so all we've done is built one ticket barrier at the moment with one door thing in it. The doors just pop in. You would paint them before you put them in. But I'm not going to paint it at the moment. I'll just show you. Sorry, I'm drifting off camera, and I need to open that out more with my knife.
Celtic Dave says about a smaller jig for the smaller kits, maybe.
Yeah, could do. Yeah, could probably do a smaller jig. Not a bad idea. Right, get in your blooming thing. That's better. Right, so that's just pushed into there now. So if you paint these black or grey or whatever colour you want them, there you go. You have a flying ticket barrier with wings on both sides. Look, yeah. So you build a row of these, and they look quite smart. Pretty simple, just simple paper wraps and MDF core and laser board barrier flap things. But that's them. Really easy. So LX83, a little bit fiddly because they're small, but they're simple, as in there's not many parts, really simple process. They're just a little bit, some delicate bits on the wraps, that's all. But nice and straightforward to do. Let's put those over there. Okay, that's that done. Right, hoist. Now it's time to confuse myself and probably get it wrong as I do it, but where did I put the hoist that we built yesterday? There. Okay, we're building one of these now. These are based on ones we saw when we were up in Liverpool, and on most of the buildings around by the docks have got them just static. So even on a modern building or a modern version of a warehouse, you'd still get away with having them because they're just there as decorative things now. Excuse me, a nod to their kind of ancestry, I suppose, a nod to the building's history. So even if you're building a warehouse that's been turned into a hotel or a bunch of a block of flats or apartments round by the docks, pop them on. They're just because they're there in real life now, so they can still be used. Right, okay. For this, we have a number of parts. We have lost my 4mm sheet. It's got the, oh, there we go. Right. The hooks will be on there when it's released. We have a 3mm MDF sheet, 4mm MDF sheet, 0.2 laser board, and 0.8 laser board. Sorry.
Can't see.
Right. We've got these are the wall brackets. We've got the main vertical, whatever you call it, body of the hoist. Then we've got the jib parts. I think it's called a jib. Then we've got some detailing parts. So start off by releasing one of the main uprights. Okay. And this has got some slots in it that are the correct angle for the jib. Turn the laser board over, we're going to work from the back because it got this pop. How that works and why it works, I don't know, but it just does. So work from the back. Okay, got the jib. Now we need to glue the jib into position. So we pop a little glue into the slots, like so. Lie that back on the bench, and then we're going to put the jib into position there, like that. Okay. Then we'll bring these two together. So just literally just squeeze them gently together and set that aside like that to glue for a couple of minutes. When that's started to dry, we should just be able to pop a little bit of glue at the top there to hold that together. Okay, while that's setting, we will look at the pulley for the top of the crane hoist. Two options. We've got this isn't 0.8, it's 1 mil thickness piece. We've got some, if you don't want to build a pulley, just got ones you can use there. The only thing with these is if you're gluing it against the wall, it's fine. Do it with the engraved detail facing outwards. If you're doing it so the crane is away from the wall, I would persevere and make up some pulleys, only because there's no engraved detail on the back. You're not really going to see it, but it's one of those things that you know is there. So if you want to do a quick and easy way, pop one of these pulleys out of that sheet and crack on, really. Skip a few steps in the instructions. I'm going to build the pulleys instead. So we've got 3 parts. We have the center part for the pulley and the 2 outers. Like so. Okay, you might be able to just see on my mucky fingers where the glue's been. You can just see the engraved detail on there. Can you just perhaps?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of glue on that there. Pick the center up with the knife and drop it in the middle, as close to the middle as we can get it. Now, we're not making an operational hoist, so if it's not quite central, it doesn't really matter too much, but as neat as you can get it, really, but it is small. Okay, glue on that again, under the center again now. Turn this one over, so we've got the engraved detail facing upwards. Pick that up, tip of the knife, and drop that on top. And again, get it as central as we possibly can. Okay, so now we've built a pulley. Easy-ish, but very small. But the principle of it is really straightforward. Okay, this is glued nicely now because it's reasonably warm in here today. So that's set lovely. All we've got to do now is drop a bit of glue on these top joints. There's no actual joint, it's literally just where they touch each other at the top there. Okay, and again, set that aside to dry, but don't lie it down like I just did because you smear the glue all over your bench. Try and prop it up somewhere, so I'll put that over here just to dry. Okay. Next up, we're going to build the wall brackets, which is probably the most technical bit of it all. If you don't want to do the extra detailing on the brackets, doesn't matter, just stick with the L-shaped brackets. I've tried to make this kit so you can choose what you want to do, how detailed you want to go. Okay, so 2 brackets, one for the top and bottom of the uprighty bit. Okay, they're equal L's, so it doesn't matter which way you got them. I'm going to just sand that back, bit of a burr off.
While you're doing that, Phil Kelly's asked what the best glue is to stick the crane to a plastic building.
You would probably get away with this laser cut kit glue, to be honest. I'm pretty sure it works on plastic, to be honest. If not, even rocket card glue will do it. Or super glue, anything like that, really. Doesn't say about plastic, but I've used this on plastic and it works. Perhaps just takes a little longer to set. But super glue will be fine. Right, okay, so now we need some of these little right-angled triangle things. This is the most delicate bit of all of this. Right, and make sure they don't pop and fly off across your bench, like that one nearly did.
Josh Swales has asked what the overall height of the hoist is.
Tina will tell you that. There you go. Morning, Josh. Not the 100 one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall height.
Yeah.
So it's a bit.
Right. Okay, we've got 2 sets of triangles. Tina's just very accurately measuring that.
I'll say this is why you shouldn't ask Tina to do stuff like
this.
this.
This is going to be to within the nearest quarter of a millimetre, Josh. This is. It won't be just. It's about 32 mil. It'll be exactly right. I can guarantee it.
4.2 centimetres.
4.2 centimetres. So you've got 42 mil overall height, Josh. I worked it out off of a photograph of ones I took at Liverpool, and I counted the bricks and went, okay, bricks roughly a millimetre. Let's go off that. So it's about right. They're about correct actually. Too small for a platform mounted hoist, one that would sit in a goods yard or something. So they're a little bit smaller than that. So not as big as the ratio crane or anything like that. But okay, now for these bits, what I'm doing is I'm gluing the really tiny triangle. If you think of a really poorly made sandwich, that's what you're making. You've got a triangular piece of bread, a really small piece of ham, and another piece of bread on top. And what I'm trying to do is glue everything to the right angle, the bottom corner of the right angle. So this corner here, everything's lined up. So what you've got is a big triangle. You can see me pointing. You've got a large triangle, and you put a smaller triangle on the top, then another large one. What that gives you, if you look at not that one because that's really wonky, well, it's still wonky, but not too bad. It gives you this double kind of whatever you call it, braced effect on the bracket. You see, it gives you that. So we're trying to make a really bad sandwich, but also try and get the bread straight.
Simon Cox has asked what the load bearing weight is it?
No idea. I have no idea. 1/200 weight. I don't know. I have no idea. If you were to actually, no, I don't know whether he's actually joking or whether he's actually being serious now. I'm tempted to see what you can hang on it, to be honest, before it breaks. It's really strong, obviously, because the triangle is the strongest shape in nature, or in science or mechanics. I don't know, actually. I reckon the glue would go before that would break. I really do. You could probably hang a Class 08 off. Well, I wouldn't want to because of the value of your train, but you could probably hang something. I reckon you get 200 or 300 grams, or 300 grams off it on it at least. But anyway, I don't know what the real load bearing weight is. The crane I took a picture of didn't have anything marked on it.
Andrew Hicks has asked how many cranes you get in a pack.
There'll be 4. There'll be 4 because I had a look yesterday, and I think 4 is about right because it works well for our sheet sizes. It works well for cutting times. It's the optimum amount to put in a packet. So there's going to be 4, and I think for most warehouses and stuff, that's a good amount. I think. Okay, so we've made some really dodgy looking sandwiches. Now what we need to do is glue this dodgy looking sandwich into the center of there. This again is quite a delicate little operation, and like I say, you don't have to do this if you're not into shed loads of detail. If you're happy with a simple bracket, go for a simple bracket. Don't send yourself loopy trying to do these.
Klaus has asked when they're ready for shipping.
If I can get the instructions written this afternoon, they will be released today. If I get no interruptions, I'll be all right. I can get it done today. Right, so we'll do that one in there. And same with this one. So the dodgy looking sandwich goes into the bookend.
Simon says it was a joke.
It's all right then. Because I could just, I wasn't, you can never tell me, you see. That's the trouble. You just never know. You just never know.
Steve D says that you can feel a club competition coming on. How much weight can you hang from your crane?
Yeah. Okay, we've got. We've still got. You never know, you see, because people might want to hang stuff off of it. You could have a. I know there's a lot of people, a couple of companies doing like actual realistic steel loads and things like that, but they're made of steel or made of real metal. So you might have a load that you want to hang on the thing, lifting a load of sheets of steel into a building. Well, that load itself might weigh 200 and something grams because it's made of real metal. So you might want to hang it on there. Right, okay, so we've got 2 funny little bookends. with our dodgy things, dodgy sandwiches on. Right, back to the hoist now. We're going to fit the. This is where if you wanted to do micro engineering and you really wanted to make this work, you could faff around with this. For the purpose of the exercise here, I'm not bothered about a moving crane. I'm just going to poke this pulley into the end. It's a snug fit, but that allows me to position it exactly where I want it. So I've positioned that pulley right on the end there. See that? And a tiny drop of glue, because we don't want it to move, on each side, like so. Okay, that's that bit. So we're getting there now. So it doesn't take long to do these at all, really.
David Champ has asked, would it be a long wait?
Haha. Boom. Yes, very good, David. It could be as long or as short a wait as you want. This could be a long wait waiting for me to do this. Right, I've cut out the bits now to go on the end here. So we're now doing the bracing parts, okay? So the small one goes on the top, the bigger one goes on the bottom. So we want 2 of each of these. And we're really motoring along now with this crane. It's really quite easy. I think this is a nice Saturday morning project, this. And when they're painted up in black, or I think the ones we saw were kind of a creamy beige colour, not far off laserboard, but sort of just painted. They're a nice project, really, for a rainy Saturday morning. Right, small one on the bottom, so the big one now. Large plate on the top. So I want to align the plate so that the flat piece on the front of the plate lines up with my jib.
So can you come in closer with the camera?
Let's see what happens. Oh, now you can focused. I can't see. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Right. Okay. There you go. That's better. So I'm adding this plate there. Okay. Turn it over. Do the same again the other side. Now the only tricky bit you've got to do here is to make sure that both plates are in exactly the same position. From a symmetry point of view and mechanical point of view, just so it looks right, really, when you look at it. If you have the...
Don't do that.
Don't do that, because you've got... No, you can't see it. Sorry, right. I'm going to make sure both plates are in the same position, because if you're having your crane pointing away or your hoist pointing away from your building, you want to be able to see both sides of the crane and see that both plates are in the same position. If you've got one half a millimetre higher than the other, it's going to look a bit daft. So we want to make sure these plates are in exactly the same spot on either side. Like I say, nothing complicated about what I'm doing. It's just small parts. So you just need to take your time. I'm not the best model builder in the world. If I can build it, anybody can build it. I'm certainly not the neatest. I'm nowhere, looking at how Tina cut that wrap out, I'm nowhere near the neatest. She's much better than me with that sort of stuff. Right. It's a good job you can't see the faces I'm pulling while I'm doing this. Concentration. Right. I think we're about... Yeah, see, that's too high. It was too high, now it's too low. Right, there we go. Got the plates on both sides, just about square and straight. That one's a bit wonky, but sorry. This is like trying to trim your beard in the mirror. It's really weird. Right, I think we're leveling off. We're leveling off. Right, so we've got the what's it? Thingies, what they're called? Gusset plates, I suppose. I don't know. There'll be some name for them. Strengthening, reinforcing doodah. Now we're going to put the other one on the other end, up on here, up on the business end. So same principle. Going to drop that onto there. Line it up as neat as I can. Like so. Didn't take any pictures, did I? What, we're just taking the Mickey now?
Andrew Pete says that your hair keeps drifting in front of the camera. Time for a haircut. I've noticed that as
Oh,
well.
is it? Oh, sorry.
There's little tiny wispy
No.
bits that you just keep getting.
I'll have to go back.
Yeah, glimpse of.
Sorry. It's because I'm leaning in like that.
Yeah.
Right, let me turn it over. And we're nearly done. See, this is a simple building. This really is just. I just hope these will add an extra level of detail, realism to people's warehouses and stuff.
That's a good idea. Steve D says mark out a zoom area on the cutting.
That is a good idea. Yeah, you could do a bit of masking tape.
Yeah.
In a couple of areas, a couple of things from line. We've got.
Yeah.
I could use the tape that we use for the board downstairs. Yeah, on our production board. Okay, that's that. Right, hooks. I'm not going to put a hook on. You could use some fishing line or something. Not fishing wire.
Yes.
Fishing
Focus.
line. Eh?
Out of focus.
Out of focus. Sorry. Oh God. No, still out of focus.
Pull back a bit.
No, that'll do. Right. Hooks. I'm not going to use the hooks at the moment, but they'll be in the kit. They'll be on the board there. Use fishing line or something to glue on there, tie up, all the rest of it. You know what to do. Okay, next bit is to glue the brackets onto there. Now we've done two that go. Now shall I do it so that I've got one facing the other way? For photographing purposes for the front of the kit, shall I do one facing the other way? Right, that's got the wonkiest brackets, so I'll get rid of that one. So we'll do this one facing this way. Okay, so we'll have it. So on the front of the packet, they'll look like that.
Right, can't see that.
On the front of the packet, they'll look like that. Oh, dear me. Right, useless, aren't I? Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll use this piece of 1mm laser board to lift our hoist up a little bit. The reason being, when we glue the brackets on, ideally we want the hoist. Oh, flip it. We want the hoist to sit, the body of the hoist to sit away from the wall a little bit. So if you imagine when this is pulled out, if we put the hoist on so it sits at the back of the brackets, it's going to sit too close to the wall, which means you can't pull it out, you can't operate it. So we want to lift it up a little bit. So we're going to go that way, like so. So put the body of the hoist on laser board, a little glue on here. Can you still see what I'm doing here? Just about. Which way do I need to go? That way. Yeah. Blob of glue on that bracket, and I've just realised we're actually supposed to be doing that way round, aren't we? We're not doing a sticky out one. So we're going to put that on there like so. Okay. Talking with yourselves while it glues for a second. I might be able to move it actually. I can move it, I can do both at the same time. Right. And a bit on there.
And what are you putting it on the?
I just put it on the laser board to lift it up so that when you put it on the wall, you have a gap.
Oh, I see.
You've got a gap,
Oh, yeah.
so when it sits on, imagine that's your warehouse wall.
Yeah.
When you glue that to the wall,
Get a. Right, I see.
it sits. The body of the hoist sits away slightly. So, so if you imagine then somebody comes along to operate it, it will spin.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one, the one I originally did, I glued it flat
Right. I
on
see.
the back, so the brackets are the same. So actually, mechanically, it couldn't work because you couldn't pull it out. You'd never notice in a million years on a building. You wouldn't notice if you put it there. Nobody would pick up on it. I wouldn't have thought. But that's the principle. Okay. So, and that's that one glued. That's it. Hoist is done. We have built a hoist. We've built a hoist. We've built a planter, 2 planters, and we've built a ticket barrier, which is over there.
Delta Dave says, digital vernier.
Yeah.
Takes seconds to measure.
Yeah, we've got one round your way actually. Round you on my desk. There is one on my desk. It's the caliper thing.
Oh right, yeah.
The slidey calipers. Yeah, we have got some. I just never know where they are. And they're living on my desk now because I found them the other day, so I left them somewhere, but I'll never forget where they are. Right. that is it. We have 2 hoists, look, a left and a right. Left and right handed. Upside down for you guys. Let's go that way. No, that's right. What am I doing? Good God, man. That way. It was right. No, it's not. What am I doing? Oh, I need to go back to bed. Right, that's better. Right, left and right hand hoist. Dear me, I need some sleep. That's all right, isn't it? Lola got me up last night. I was just dropping asleep. I was just gone off, and then she starts whining to go out and shot outside to chase a cat or something.
And then you could do the thing
Anyway.
I was saying yesterday about having it so that this comes off there, so as though it's not against the wall.
So it's been, you can just position them wherever you want. You can position them like randomly if you wish. If you want them to just be at 30 degrees or something, so it's sort of, it's been used, but somebody's not put it back where it should go or whatever. You can position these exactly where you want because they're just, the brackets are just literally glued to the the main hoist body. So it's nothing, you can do whatever you like.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, you could mark the position of the bottom, or you could glue the bottom bracket to the wall that you're going to fit them on first, so you've got something to hold it against. Then you can position it based on how you want it, glue it, hold it for a few seconds. When the glue's gone off, put the bracket on top while you're gluing it in position, rather than assembling it on your bench and trying to get the angles right on the brackets. You just do it, excuse me, just do it as you like on the building. But a quick coat of paint, black, brown, red oxide, beige. I'm not going to sit here listing every colour in the rainbow, but anyway, whatever colours. Like I say, there's hooks to go with it. These will be LX472, and they should be available, all being well, this afternoon. Takes my eyes a minute, just after I've done. Thank you very much for watching. That is everything today. So we've done the LX83, we've done LX15, which we'll modify to have the extra bits on we talked about earlier. And I'll do a different version which will probably have GWR, possibly LNER, etc., lettering or something like that. I'll come up with something anyway, but it might take me a day or two to do those, but the GWR ones, very easy. And the LX472 and LX83, that's what we've done today. So look out for these this afternoon. The hoists, I'll get the instructions written today and get them released. So thanks for watching. Pack of 4 of them. Yeah, just somebody said about having it in a pack. Thanks for watching. Have a brilliant week. And we'll see you all next week. If it's not us, it'll be Dylan. And then it's the fast approaching modern rail Scotland. So see some of you in the flesh in Scotland. Anyway, have a good one. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you later. All right.
Bye.
Ta-da.